I've got a part here that through either translation errors or just over time it's drifted for whatever reason, and people hadn't caught the things that are wrong with it. If I look into this bore, this looks like it's supposed to be concentric, and it's not. I got another one over here that has a concentricity problem. And then I look at this face over here, and if I section my part, let's change where that rotation vector is. I can see that I've got like an inclined wall here. So again, on home, I'm going to come over here to say make concentric. So I'm going to make a relationship here, or rather make coaxial. And I want to pick the motion face. When I do that, it sees that there's other coplanar axes. I'm not going to pick any of those right now. I'm going to pick the stationary face, and you'll see how that hole moves and becomes coaxial. Same thing over here. I'm going to make coaxial. I want to pick again the motion face first, and then the reference stationary face. Then that will rotate around, and it is basically a spot face that comes off the edge of the part. This one might be a little bit tougher. We'll see what we can do with it. I want to make this perpendicular at the very least. So I'm going to tell it to make perpendicular, and I'll pick the motion face, and then pick the stationary face. And when I do that, I see how it's adding in material, and it's pushed the bottom out. But what if the bottom is where it needs to be? I can specify a point to go through, and I say I want the bottom to stay the same, and now it's going to be made perpendicular through that point, and it's pushing the top back instead of the bottom. Just say okay there, and I'm off to the races. I've got the same part, but this one is fully featured. I look at my history tree. There are nearly 460 features in here. So should I use synchronous modeling on something like this? Well, it depends on what you're doing. One of the things I need to do is I need to make this pocket bigger. So I look at that. It's a feature, extrude, and it's got a sketch inside of it. It's got a value of 50. Let's make that maybe 85. Finish that and see what happens. Let it go through an update. It's crunching through my updates here. And all right, well, now I have another feature that it's interfering with. I can select that feature, see it over here on my tree, and I go in to edit this one. If you're familiar with NX, well, basically in the old days, this one actually predates me a bit. I've been doing this for about 16 years, and this is a dialog that predates me. There is a way to get in here and edit the defining string and edit the sketch basically that's driving this feature, but it's kind of an old feature. And maybe that guy retired, and we don't have the knowledge of how to fix this part anymore. And just real quick, we can take a look at how old this part is. So menu information part history, and it's picking up the part that I'm in. I roll this back to figure the first couple ones are just building a template file, but back in 2000 is when this was really created. And it's gone through many iterations through time, and is now opened by me today. And the version is 432 at this point. So it's gone through a lot of changes over time. So I'm going to fix this guy, maybe push this value back to 50. Let that all update. So the question always comes up, am I overriding the design intent of the part? Well, to a degree, yes, I am, but I don't know how to fix that feature. So I'm going to go ahead and use move face. Pick this one face. And I can reverse that over and say I want to move that move it up 35, so it's the 85 overall. So that was just a move face with a specific value added into it, and now I have a move face feature that shows up on my tree. When you see these, you are overriding the original design intent, but what I did was just move the face. The face ID is staying the same, and now I'm no longer interfering with a previous part or previous feature. One of the things that NX NX's claim to fame is that it can open up parts that are really, really old. This really just started in McDonnell Douglas back in the late 70s, early 80s, and though I've never seen a part from the 80s, my oldest part I've ever seen is in the mid 90s, and I was able to open that up no problem, and we were able to work on it.